All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Interlagos. Giancarlo and Wessel Stevens on the front row. Adam Barker and Max Gunther on the second row. Simon Zierk and points leader Rudolph Gunther on the third row. Xander and Edmund Jones have the fourth row. Mike Dolling and Cody Kennedy round out the top 10. Ryan McDaniel starting in 11th next to Harry in 12th. And the rookie Joshua Mancuso starts in 13th. Manny obviously getting excited, ready for the green flag, aren't we all? Just waiting for the rest of the drivers to take to the track. Mancuso, the rookie, starts tail into the field. Also note, he is also in a Ford this morning. Along with Cody Kennedy. We'll let Mancuso get away with it today. He didn't know better. Cody, what were you thinking? Does not look like Harry Volsmir will take to the grid this morning. Drivers are off. They will go through that tight middle section. We'll be keeping a close eye on Xander through this section once the green flag drops. Xander will be able to make up some time on the straightaway, but that Mercedes is known for not being the best handling car out here. Max Gunther and Ryan McDaniel both in Porsches this morning. Probably the two best handling cars out there, but also the two trickiest cars to drive. Hey, good morning, Tina. Pace car about to drop in as they come out of the final turns. Through that final kink, the pace car will make a hard left onto pit road. There he goes. Giancarlo in control. He fires green, is in the air. Giancarlo quickly to the outside, setting up for turn one. Will we see? Yes, we've got a car off. Looks like Xander went off in turn one. Giancarlo quickly on a breakaway. Barker into second. Wessel Stevens back in third. Xander has towed it into pit road. Cody Kennedy and Ryan McDaniel both having problems back behind. We'll take a look at the first lap incidents here in a moment. Mancuso now at 3 spots into 10th. Cody up 1 in the 9th. And Mike Dolling now up 2 spots into 7th. As Giancarlo continues to pull away from Barker. Xander saying that was a quick one. Well, hopefully he'll be back for race 2, as we've had an incident back behind, multiple cars involved. Let's see what happened on lap 1. There's Xander coming toward turn 1. Oh, looks like Xander may have had some help. Look from a different angle. Xander tries to shoot 3 wide, just barely gets a love tap. Cody Kennedy had a problem a few moments later. Just looks like just a little bit wide. And then a multi-car incident back behind. Edmund Jones loses the back end. Cody gets into him. Mancuso able to avoid him. Giancarlo extending his lead to 2.3 seconds over Wessel. Max Gunther, Adam Barker right there with him. Giancarlo just set the fastest lap of the race so far. Wessel Stevens, Max Gunther, Adam Barker, Simon Zierk, Rudolph Gunther. And Mike Dolling not far behind. Xander back out on track as Mancuso goes by. Cody Kennedy now back to 9th, Ryan in 10th, Edmund way back in 11th. Edmund did come to pit road for repairs. Through this tight, twisty section of track, those Porsches will have a bit of an advantage, but that long front straightaway, they do lack the straight line speed. Rudolph Gunther in the McLaren again this week. It is weird to see a member of Team Gunther not in the Porsche. So you gotta hand it to Rudolph. He has led the points so far most of the season. Wessel Stevens in second, starting to close ground on Giancarlo. Max Gunther sitting in third, Adam Barker all over the bumper. Rudolph Gunther is closing in on Simon at the moment. Mancuso, the rookie here, now up into 8th place. Trying to close back in on Mike Dolling. Xander back in 12th, a couple laps down, but trying to come through and see if he can gain some ground here. We'll have to wait till race 2 to see how that Mercedes competes through the infield section of the track. This is a fun little track. You know, every one of the drivers out there has a smile on their face right now. .67 miles, 15 turns, and all of them are fun. Frustrating at times, but fun. Giancarlo's lead now 2.5 seconds on Wessel. Max Gunther, Adam Barker about a second back in third and fourth. Simon now into fifth. Rudolph in sixth. Mike Dolling in seventh. Joshua Mancuso in eighth. Cody Kennedy in ninth. Ryan McDaniel up to 10th. Edmund Jones back in 11th and Xander in 12th. Adam Barker looking on Max. Can't quite get there yet. If you can set up to the inside of one of these turns, you can often make up a lot of ground and pass a lot of cars, but it is tricky getting the nose in. Adam almost had it there. And let's take a lap around in Adam's car. Down through the kink toward the start-finish line as Adam just battling for third place. Edmund Jones and Ryan McDaniel have had problems behind. Downhill through the S's. Down that straightaway, trying to keep the turbos in the McLaren spooled up. A very easy place to go, a little too wide there, but back on the power. Now into the tightest sections of the track. And it is very, very easy to overdrive this section of track. And if you can get it perfectly, you can make up a lot of ground here. Swinging as wide as possible into the left-hander across the apex and then back full power as you head back toward the start-finish line. Back down close to the pit wall and across the start-finish line. Adam did that lap in 1:36.05. Matt, sometimes I just don't want to acknowledge you, buddy. Good morning, Moniac. Let's take a look at the incident a moment ago for Ryan McDaniel and Edmund Jones. Ryan looks like coming into that tight infield section, just cuts a little too low, easy to do. Gets off in the grass, but quickly recovers. Edmund Jones, remember, he just bought the track and overshoots the turn way wide. Does keep it out of the wall. Adam did get by Max Gunther, but they are stacked up. Simon right behind him in 5th. Rudolph in 6th, was gaining ground, but is lost. He is about 3 seconds back. Mike Dolling back in 7th at the moment. 11.5 seconds ahead of Mancuso. Likely Dolling will be the pole sitter in race 2. That does not bode well for the rest of the field. They don't call Mike Dolling the Minister of Defense for nothing. Giancarlo's still out front. Track temperature currently 84, but you're starting to see sunlight crack through. That track temp may end up going up. And Xander has had a problem. Coming down into turn 1. Looks like Xander just pulled over. Xander did tow it to pit road. Hopefully we'll see him back for race 2. Giancarlo's lead now 4.3 seconds over Wessel Stevens. Adam Barker about 2.8 seconds back with Max Gunther on his bumper. Simon Zierk about a second back, but those track temps, with the sun breaking through, that track temp liable to go up dramatically. Race 2, we could see a very different handling racetrack. And especially through that first section, coming down through the S's and out onto this straightaway, it does have a tendency to get a bit slick when it's hot. Gotta hand it to the rookie this morning, Joshua Mancuso, currently up 5 spots into 8th place, especially when you consider he is handicapped by driving a Ford. Seriously, Joshua, we expect you to be in a different car next week. Don't forget, folks, tonight, 7:30 Eastern, the BRR Cup Series finale from Homestead. Mark Nelson may have his 2nd championship locked up tonight. Then at 9:30 Eastern, the SMR Gen 4 Cup Series is back after a week off. That series has been a ton of fun. Pit strategy coming into play in a big, big way has made for some very exciting moments. Giancarlo's lead continuing to grow, 4.7 seconds. Adam Barker still about 2.5 seconds back with Max right there with them. Simon in the BMW is losing a little bit of ground. But keep an eye on him in race 2 if the track continues to heat up. That BMW is often the most stable car on track. Rudolph Gunther back in 6th. Mike Doling in 7th has just about caught him. Could see a change here in a moment. But only a few laps left to go in race 1. Giancarlo, his lead continuing to grow now, 5.6 seconds. And Edmund Jones not far ahead. Surprisingly, Edmund in an Audi this morning, the only Audi on track. It is definitely a McLaren heavy field, as we have seen all season long. 5 McLarens on track, 2 Fords, 2 Porsches, 1 BMW, 1 Mercedes, and 1 Audi. Mike had caught up to Rudolph, but Rudolph is pulled away. Now it's about a 1.7 second gap. White flag is in the air one more time around for Giancarlo. Edmund Jones has had a problem behind. Edmund, that same turn he had a problem in a moment ago, went around right in front of the leader. Giancarlo did get by clean. Close call there for Wessel. Ryan McDaniel has had a problem back behind as well. Coming into that tighter section of track, just overshoots. No arm, no foul there. And up the track they go. Giancarlo with his big lead in the McLaren coming through the final kink. Down the front stretch, Giancarlo wins race 1 at Interlagos. Adam Barker ends up coming home in 2nd. Wessel Stevens in 3rd. And let's talk to our top 3, starting with Wessel. Wessel, that was definitely an exciting race and a lot more action than what you'd normally see in certain parts of this track.
Yeah, it was quite a calm race for me, to be honest. Only the last 2 laps somebody came on the track who was not really watching out, but overall good race.
Well, still coming home with the podium. I know that cost you a 2nd place finish. Now going into race 2, though, you're going to have to start back in 5th place. Can you march up through the field faster than Giancarlo?
Probably not, but we will see.
Well, man, great race. Good luck in race 2, bud.
You see him.
Wessel Stevens comes home 3rd. Adam Barker coming home in second. Adam, a late race pass gives you second place. Great start to the day.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there. There was a slow car somewhere, and I was just in the right place at the right time there, really. I made quite a big mistake, missing my braking point at turn 1 earlier in the race, dropping me down to 4th. So it was fortunate. I didn't lose too much of that. So Giancarlo had gone after the time I was messing around with Wessel. So it was yeah, good race. Interesting. We're going to have to see what the tires are like after 50 minutes of this, because it's really really struggles on the rear here.
Well, and also the track's starting to see some sunlight, may get slicker as well. That could be a huge factor.
Yeah, getting a little bit of sun. Hopefully the weather stays away, which I think it is. Because there was a slight chance of rain, so hopefully we managed to keep that away from us. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna be really struggling for traction, I think, at towards the end of this race.
Well, great race 1. Good luck in race 2, bud.
Yeah, thank you. I'll try and be as opportunistic.
All right. All right, and finally our winner, Giancarlo. Back in victory lane, Giancarlo. How does it feel?
Hey, Doug. Feels pretty good, especially after yesterday.
Yesterday was a bit traumatic. You've had 2 sweeps already this season. Can you pull it off again today?
We'll see. It's a pretty tight overtaking places here, so we got to be very cautious. The track tightens up on pretty much every apex. So yeah, we'll try to make our overtakes count.
And I know you're in the McLaren today, but are you going to be very careful letting off the throttle today?
Hopefully.
I know that was the problem yesterday, man. Still a great run yesterday, and good luck. Great win in race 1.
Thanks, Doug.
So Giancarlo wins race 1. He will start in 7th for race 2 with the top 7 invert. That should put Mike Doling starting out front. He got the nickname the Minister of Defense for a reason. You see Adam Barker and Giancarlo out practicing pit stop entry and exit. They will have to make a fuel stop during this race. A few other cars sitting on pit road, but not coming out at the moment. And based on what Adam said and Giancarlo was talking about, it's very, very likely we will see 4 tire stops here this morning. And this could come down to late race who conserves their tires and uses them the least in the early portion of this race. Just a few seconds left to go. Adam Barker makes it back to pit road as Barney the flagman tells him to park it. And fog has settled in for race 2. Here we go. Rudolph Gunther, Mike Dolling on the front row, Simon Zierk and Max Gunther on the second row. Wessel Stevens and Adam Barker have the third row. Giancarlo and Joshua Mancuso on the fourth row. Cody Kennedy and Ryan McDaniel rounding out the top 10. Edmund Jones starts in 11th, Xander in 12th. Harry not gridding. Cody's saying the question is, where will he finish? I could make a few obvious jokes here, but I'll be nice for now. Track temperature has actually gone down as the fog settles in. And very high humidity. Everybody starting on dry tires at the moment. But could we see the track get wet and everybody have to switch to wets? Rudolph Gunther, Mike Dolling on the front row. Mike Dolling will control the start. Can Rudolph potentially break away again here, get the win in race 2, and maybe extend his points lead? We have seen the last few times we have been here, we have seen some power moves at the start of race 2. Going into turn 1, will anybody make the gutsy pass this time? Hayes' car is in. They have fired. Green flag is in the air. Rudolph to the lead right off the bat. Simon trying to get to the inside. No daring moves coming to turn 1 this time. But man, coming onto the straight, they really spread out that time. They're 3 wide coming down the end of the turn. Holy cow, Simon had to be holding his breath. Ryan McDaniel has had a problem back behind. Simon trying to battle up past Max. Simon on the attack from the start this time. That BMW almost clears. He finally does. Simon now to 4th. Wessel, meanwhile, up to 3rd. Dolling in 2nd. But Rudolph Gunther trying to get away early. Speaking of on the attack, Xander had a problem in race 1. Here in race 2 so far, already up 4 spots into 8th place. As the sun comes back out, let's take a look at that incident with Ryan McDaniel on lap 1. Ryan back behind in the Porsche. Oh, checks up really big. Ouch. Take a look from a different angle. I do think he got the wall. Looks like he just missed his braking point. Yeah, he does smack the wall. Has gone to pit road for repairs. Rudolph Gunther still in the lead. Mike Dolling in second. There's contact with Wessel. Dolling has slipped back to 5th place. Oh, Max a little squirrely there. Gives Dolling the opportunity, but now Max back to the inside. Holy cow, things getting crazy. All this battling back behind is definitely helping Rudolph Gunther. And let's take a look at this from the blimp. Mike Marshall just ahead. Wessel dives in, gets into Marshall. Mike loses several spots, but does recover one of them and is fighting back. Simon Zierk in the BMW has the fastest lap so far, and Zander has had a problem. And Zander is back on pit road. Zander in the Mercedes looks to the inside and just pushes wide across the nose of Max Gunther. A lot of 3 wide, 2 and 3 wide battling going on. And a hard hit for Zander sends him to pit road. Wessel Stevens just set the fastest lap in second. Simon in third. Mike Dolling back in fourth. There's a problem with Giancarlo back behind. Giancarlo's chances for a sweep have just come to an end. There's Giancarlo, the purple McLaren. Right in the middle. Oh, looked like Barker just pushed him into the turn. There you see him just inches apart coming through there. Adam just gets to his bumper, gets a better run. Adam slides but saves it. A hard hit for Giancarlo. Hey, good morning, Thomas. So Rudolph Gunther still in the lead. Wessel in second. Simon and Zander saying, "Oh, these Gunthers." Mike Dolling back in fourth, Max Gunther in fifth. Max does have damage to the front of that Porsche. Adam Barker back in 6th after that incident with Giancarlo. The rookie now up into 7th. Cody Kennedy in 8th. Ryan McDaniel now to 9th. Giancarlo still sitting on pit road. Edmund Jones and Xander both out of the race. Giancarlo is on pit road getting repairs. Should see him back out here shortly. We've seen Giancarlo make some big comebacks to pull off wins. I just don't see it happening here today. At Thomas, it took me a minute to recognize the name. Rudolph still out front, but Wessel Stevens and Simon Zierk have caught him. Mike Doling back in 4th. Max Gunther in 5th and Barker in 6th. Just set the fastest lap. I think Adam may be driving a little bit angry right now. The rookie Joshua Mancuso in 7th, Cody Kennedy in 8th. If this track gets slick or wet, that back end of those Fords will start to step out. Track is starting to heat back up and the fog is starting to lift just a little bit. See how it looks. In car, we've got a battle for the lead. A 3-car battle for the lead. Wessel is taking the lead. You can see the fog off in the distance, but it has lifted off the track. Whoa, Wessel just gets one of the turtles. Simon gets to the inside. Wessel able to fight his way back. And then a moment or two later, coming down to that first turn, Rudolph just overshoots. Wessel able to make the move. Simon also trying to slip by. Wessel Stevens out front by 3/4 of a second over Rudolph and Simon. That little bit of battling did allow Mike Doling to close the gap. Hey, good morning, Richie. Mike Doling sits back in 4th, now less than 2 seconds behind. Max Gunther in 5th, but here comes Barker. Barker currently in 6th place, the fastest car on track. And it does appear Giancarlo is officially out of race 2. Halfway through the season, Rudolph Gunther currently leads the points over Adam Barker. Adam back in 6th, Rudolph in 2nd. Rudolph needs to keep him in his mirror. Adam had the better finish in race 1, but race 2 pays more points. Rudolph Gunther staying within about a second of the leader. Simon right on his bumper. Mike Dolling continuing to reel those two in. Adam Barker back on the bumper of Max Gunther, and you have to wonder how that Porsche is handling missing the front bumper cover. The rookie Joshua Mancuso in 7th, Cody Kennedy back in 8th. Wessel, though, starting to extend his lead now 2 seconds as Mike Dolling is caught up to Simon Zierk. Max Gunther and Adam Barker are almost back there. I think we're likely to see a 5 to 6 car battle before it's all said and done. Wessel Stevens out front definitely wants to hear of a 5-car battle going on behind. His lead currently 2.4 seconds. They start battling behind him. He'll be able to pull away. We can see the damage on Max's Porsche. That incident with Giancarlo does not appear to have damaged the McLaren of Adam Barker at all. It's definitely going to give Adam an advantage. Can he take advantage of it? Simon Zierk battling for second through the first turns. Down through the S's, Rudolph holds him off. Simon back to the inside. And now they're all there together. Rudolph, Dolling, Simon, Max, and Adam battling for second on back. And Wessel Stevens, he is leaving. Wessel's lead now 4.25 seconds and growing every moment. With this 5-car battle going on, every one of these drivers has to be careful. Adam Barker just picked up a couple of spots. One mistake, they'll lose a lot of ground. A bad mistake, all 5 of them will end up in a pile of sheet metal. Wessel Stevens lead now 5.1 seconds. Max Gunther is on pit road. This will be his one stop. He should be able to go the distance from here. This will also allow Max to get the front of that car repaired. There you see the front bumper back on the car. He did not take tires, repair and fuel only. That is definitely interesting, as we expected to see a lot of tire changes on their pit stops today. Rudolph still holding on to second, but right behind him is second in points, Adam Barker. Mike Dolling in fourth, Simon Zierk in fifth. Adam Barker second in points, the 5-time champ. Rudolph Gunther is yet to win an NSS championship. Both Max Gunther and Yannick Gunther have won championships in this league. You kind of have to hope Rudolph can pull it off this season. Wessel Stevens continues to check out now 6.2 seconds. Max Gunther back out on track. Just behind Cody Kennedy. Not far behind Joshua Mancuso. Wessel now has a 6-second lead. It just keeps growing. Rudolph in second, Barker in third, Dolling up to fourth, Simon back in fifth. Simon went off track a moment ago, lost a lot of ground. The rookie Joshua Mancuso in his first race with NSS has had a very good morning. Finished 8th in race 1, currently running in 6th in race 2. Despite having been stuck in a Ford. Rudolph Gunther in second as Barker on the bumper, and Dolling is on his way. Can Rudolph keep Adam in his mirror here? Adam right on the bumper, going to try and use the slipstream and slingshot past into turn 1. This is going to come down to who blinks first. Adam moves to the outside. Adam slips by. Rudolph fights back. Adam finally clears, and Doling is back in the picture. While they continue to battle, Wessel Stevens continues to check out, is lead now 8 seconds. Second, third, and fourth, still nose to tail through the center section. Simon Zierk about 6.7 seconds back after his off track, but he is starting to make up some ground. Rudolph Gunther is bringing it in. Wessel Stevens, Adam Barker, Mike Doling all staying out. Simon Zierk also staying out. Mancuso staying out. Max Gunther has already completed his stop. Rudolph is taking tires and fuel. And he is rolling. Max Gunther, after his stomp, has already passed Cody Kennedy and closing the gap on Mancuso, who has now moved up into 5th. Wessel Stevens lead, holding about 7.9 seconds. Adam Barker free of other cars around for the moment, trying to close that gap. Mike Doling in third, about 1.4 seconds back. Rudolph Gunther on fresh tires. We know Max did not take tires. Be interesting to see what the rest of the driver's strategy is here this morning, and if Rudolph's fresh tires will pay off. Adam Barker in second, trying to close in on Wessel, but right now he continues to lose ground. He's about 8.25 seconds back. Ryan McDaniel has had a problem back behind. Oh, same place we saw Edmund having so many problems in race 1. That part of the track gets extremely slick. Quickly recovers and gets it going again. Mike Dolling back in third, losing ground to Barker at the moment. Mike now about 2.2 seconds back. Simon Zierk continues to reel in Mike Dolling, but he is 6.1 seconds back. Pit stop strategy could make up a lot of this time. Max Gunther back in 6th after his stop is reeling in 5th place. Joshua Mancuso at the moment. Cody Kennedy back in 7th as Rudolph Gunther in 8th, closing rapidly. He is just 2.9 seconds back. The top 5 have not been to pit road yet. And it looks like most of them will continue to stretch that fuel and tires. Simon Zierk continues to rapidly close in on Mike, now 5.1 seconds back. Max Gunther just 2.3 seconds behind Joshua. Rudolph Gunther less than 2 seconds behind Kennedy. Adam Barker maintaining about an 8.3 second gap behind the leader, but Wessel just not letting him get any closer. The beautiful unicorn cheering on Cody, but Angie, he's driving a Ford. Ryan McDaniel is in for his stop. And Rudolph Gunther, after his stop, has already caught Cody Kennedy. And it looks like Cody may be setting up to come in. Kennedy is on pit road. Mancuso is on pit road as well. Ryan McDaniel got tires on his Porsche. Mancuso does not appear to be taking tires. Cody Kennedy taking tires. Max Gunther now back up into 5th, trying to reel in the top 4. Only 4 drivers have not been in. Wessel Stevens, Adam Barker, Mike Dolling, and Simon Zierk. Wessel continues to stay out. Adam Barker continues to stay out. Mike Dolling stays out. And Simon Zierk, the entire top 4, continue to stretch it. Wessel's lead continuing to grow, now 8.6 seconds over Barker. Dolling back in 3rd. Simon Zierk in fourth is reeling in Mike Doling. Max Gunther in fifth, Rudolf Gunther in sixth. At the moment, Max, the fastest car on track. Wessel continuing to stay out. Looks like the top four are going to stay out until the leader comes in. Looked like Adam's car might have been slipping a little bit, coming downhill through the S's. Heard a lot of talk about the tires after race one being given up, not a lot of rear grip. Could the tires be starting to let go just a little bit? Wessel Stevens still out front, still growing that lead. And Wessel is bringing it to pit road. Adam Barker is coming in. Mike Doling is going to stay out and assume the lead. Simon Zierk comes in fourth. Mike Doling goes to the lead for the first time this morning. A quick stop for Wessel. A quick stop for Adam. Wessel coming out in second. Max is coming through. Adam coming out right behind. Mike Doling, the last car that needs to come in. He will complete the pit cycle. Last time by, Max Gunther set his fastest lap of the race. Continues to be the fastest car on track. And is currently closing the gap on Wessel Stevens. And here we go. Mike Doling is on pit road. Mike had a big gap on the rest of the field, and it looks like fuel only for Mike. As Wessel Stevens goes back and reassumes the lead. But Wessel about to have his hands full. Max Gunther, Adam Barker closing in. Mike Dolling back in fourth. Here comes Simon Zierk and Rudolf Gunther. Wessel's lead has shrunk dramatically from 8 seconds down to 1.1 as Max Gunther closes in and Adam Barker closing in as well in third. This is going to be a very close battling final 12 minutes. Adam Barker just set the fastest lap of the race. Adam Barker, remember, came into the morning second in points behind Rudolf Gunther. As of right now, Adam would take the points lead. Wessel Stevens' lead is gone. Max Gunther is on his bumper. Adam Barker closing in on the top two from behind. Mike Dolling back in fourth, has his hands full with Simon in fifth. Rudolf Gunther in sixth, closing in, but 7.2 seconds back. Mancuso currently in seventh, Cody Kennedy in eighth. Mancuso having a great run here today. Imagine how good he'd do if he was in a decent car. Don't forget, folks, tonight, 7:30 Eastern, BRR Cup Series finale, followed at 9:30 by the SMR Gen 4 Series. A bunch of great racing to come tonight. Simon Zierk may clear Mike Dolling. He does. Adam Barker within striking distance of the top two. Max is looking. Max goes a little bit wider into the S as he's trying to cut back. Wessel holds his line. Max can't find an opening. Wessel moves low. He's not going to let Max have the preferred line. Max staying right with him. He's going to have to make a move through the middle sector if he's going to pull it off. He's definitely not going to beat the McLaren on the straights. Adam Barker is right there with them. The top three, nose to tail. Talked about this yesterday during the Petit Le Mans. It is impressive when it comes down after this much time to a nose-to-tail battle at the end of the race. Max is going to try the move coming down the hill. He gets to the outside. He's got the nose in into the right-hander. This is going to be a fight. Neither driver has an advantage. Wessel able to pull ahead. Max now looks under. Adam Barker right behind. Oh! Max Gunther is around. Wessel drove deeper into the turn, and I couldn't tell, did Max have contact? See if we can see from the blimp. I think there was contact between the top two. Max goes around. Wessel Stevens still in the lead. Barker in second. Max now back in third. Max lost a lot of ground to the top two. Simon and Mike Dolling back behind, actually closing in, but too far back this late in the race. Rudolph Gunther back in sixth. The rookie Joshua Mancuso in seventh. Cody Kennedy in eighth. Ryan McDaniel holding on for ninth. Giancarlo, Xander, Harry, and Edmund out of the race. And you can see Adam Barker pushing that McLaren to the limit. Wessel has had multiple podiums this season, but is yet to get into victory lane. Could today finally be the day Wessel gets the checkers? Adam staying right with him, turn for turn. Max Gunther back in third, Simon in fourth, Dolling in fifth. And Adam sitting inches off the bumper. Adam trying to force Wessel to make a mistake here, or at least give him an opening. Hey, how's it going, Kenny? Max Gunther back in third, gaining no ground after that incident with Wessel. Ryan McDaniel limping to pit road. He had a problem a moment ago. And there's Ryan in the red. Oh! Back in, just stepping out on the Porsche. Gets it recovered, but man, a rough morning for Ryan. Wessel Stevens continues to lead. Adam Barker continuing to look for a chink in the armor, a way to get around. Ryan McDaniel has had a couple of problems back behind after coming off pit road. White flag is in the air one more time around. Does Adam have anything left for the leader? Max Gunther back in third. No opportunity to catch back up. Adam tried to send it a little deeper into the turn, but couldn't get there. Wessel opens up a little bit of a gap, but Adam fighting back. Only a few corners left to get it done. Adam trying to close up, but it's not. Look, Adam goes way wide. And toward the final kink, Adam does not have enough momentum. Wessel Stevens gets his first race, or gets his first win of the season at Interlagos. Adam comes home a very close second. Max Gunther finishes third. And let's talk to our top three. Max, that was quite a battle for the lead you guys had going on up there.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a good race.
A little bit of bumping did end up sending you around, but you still managed to hold on to third. That was a great save.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate, but I mean, they were fighting, so I pitted early, and I think that actually helped a lot.
Well, the pit strategy definitely worked out. You still get a podium, man. Great job today.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you.
Max comes home in third. Adam Barker comes home in second. Adam, just not enough there at the end. You were lurking on his bumper. Just couldn't find a way around.
Yeah, just couldn't quite manage the pace when I needed it. I could get to the back of him, but he was defending where he needed to. and he was quick out of the last corner. I just couldn't quite get the last corner down as I'd like it. I was struggling a little bit for grip, so he just couldn't quite make it. I was trying to force something on the last lap, but it just wasn't meant to be there.
Yeah, you definitely were forcing it on that last lap. It was kind of obvious where the corners you were pushing in, but every time you did, he just managed to pull a gap on you.
Yeah, he always seemed to have the answer for whatever I threw at him. But yeah, he was super quick today. Really good race. Shame I murdered Giancarlo earlier, but a little bit of a miscalculation coming out of the center S's. I thought I had a little bit more room, and I just tagged the rear of his car.
Well, still a great finish, and you will assume the points lead, at least for now. Great job, bud.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much.
And Wessel Stevens finally in victory lane. Wessel, you finally get to victory lane. You've been close all season long. Finally get it done today.
Yeah, finally. It was a really, really good race. It was a little bit tense at the end with Adam with the new tires, but we kept it together and we got the win.
Well, it definitely worked out. You put on one heck of a fight and a great job holding off everybody charging at you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Wessel Stevens gets the win, folks. Don't forget to come back tonight at 7:30 Eastern. The BRR Cup Series is back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget 9:30 SMR Gen 4 and a whole lot of great racing to come this week. Thank you guys so much and have a wonderful day.